End of day Thursday. Let's get an X5 update here. So rear suspension went in either Friday, it was late Friday. Rear upper arms were a pain in the ass. The shocks had to come out, but all four upper arms are new. This is the only aluminum control arm on the car, is the toe link guide rod. The rest of them are steel. New rear brakes are done, rotors, parking brake rebuild, pads, caliper retaining clips. Then we move up front. This is what we've been working on for the last couple hours. It's just about 9. I'm wrapping up for the day. New hubs, new bearings, new axle shafts, new tie rods, new tie rod boots, new curved arms, new straight arms, new stabilizer links, all new hardware, pads, rotors, retaining clips, wear sensor, everything but the strut, spring, bump stop, everything in that assembly, no top mounts or anything. But yesterday did fluids, front differential, rear differential, transfer case. Sergio's gonna do the transmission tomorrow because I love doing transmissions, but Sergio just loves it even more. So we're gonna let him do the auto trans service. We got the kit over here, some Liquimali ETF, what is this, Top Tech 1200, 8 liters of that, filter, hardware, and gasket in there. At which point we'll be able to bleed the brakes out. That's about 60% water and coffee. So we'll get some new brake fluid. Still have to torque these axle nuts. It's got to go down to 350 some pounds. I don't know how we're going to do that. The torque wrench I have only goes up to 250. So I think we crank it to 250, do another quarter turn, Bob's your uncle. Got a little bit of interior stuff going on still. I did get this handle and latch and everything replaced for the driver door. Had to replace the plastic piece around that lock cylinder as it broke coming out. But the vapor barrier is not on yet because we want to have this nasty dent pulled out a little bit better, which can't be done on the lift. The guy stopped by today. It's got to be off the lift, and that means we need wheels, and that meant we needed wheel carriers, so that's what we did today. And tomorrow, additionally, we've got a fuel filter, some fuel hose. Really, that's the majority of the work scope. We are going to rebuild the diesel valve preventatively. Plugs were done fairly recently. We got new filters, all fluids except engine oil, but that was done 4 or 6 miles before we got the car, so we should be good there. Full synthetic 5W30. Here's the diesel valve kit. It's the German Auto Solutions kit. I think we did one of these for a customer once. You get a new flapper, O-ring, screw, some hardware, some lube. So hopefully that'll be tomorrow. Imola, pretty much done. Running AC charge today, no leaks. We are getting a check engine light for some misfires, but he neglected to replace the plugs and coils as part of the build, so we'll have to go to him, see if he wants to throw some diag time at it. But it's running fine. It doesn't feel like it's misfiring. It makes plenty of power. It's good and smooth. So we'll see what he wants to do. The wagon, we still have to get this on a lift and check the timing. 528. Both bumpers have been repainted, all new trims. It's the first time I've assembled the pre-facelift E39 trim that has the chrome pieces on it. It's really fiddly. The chrome doesn't want to stay in there, but if you play with it long enough, you'll get it to line up and look good. New license plate bracket, all 3 pieces, actually 6 pieces, including the chrome in the rear. But if you lock this car for more than 10 seconds and unlock it, the alarm goes off still. We've replaced the general module, coded that to the car. Replaced the siren module, which is different on a 97. That didn't make a difference. So today I got a new, not the siren module, the tilt sensor. Today I got the siren module. So tomorrow we'll need to pull this wheel off and the fender liner, change the siren module, see if that does it. If that doesn't do it, the only component left in the circuit that I'm aware of, other than the hood sensor, which is unplugged and shouldn't be a factor right now, is the ultrasonic sensor in the headliner. But look, it's different. The 97's got different ultrasonic sensors as well. NLA new, there's an adapter cable to adapt it to the new type, but you got to drop the headliner to change the bracket, and the adapter cables are only available in Germany, so 3 weeks. Customer needs the car back before then. The alarm system on these cars is not that complicated, so it's got to be one of these pieces. Kenan brought up a good point. I should make a video on the differences between your early E39s, model year 97, 98, then there was a major facelift kind of for 99/2000, and then another major facelift. That's the one people talk about, is the 01. You got the headlights, the taillights, the steering wheel, widescreen nav. That's the one everyone discusses because, well, that's what the M5s have, and that's when the E39 became popular and sold more units. But these early 97 cars, there's so many differences. Look, we have no sunroof in this. We have E38 style cabin boxes, just different fasteners and clips and some switches throughout the car that just feel really different. It has different wiper stocks, different turn signal and steering wheel adjustment stocks. We've got this little thing up here in the headliner. I've talked about it with this car before, but different grab handles. It's really surprising how many things are different. buttons down here are huge and modular. You can change them individually. When you hit the auto button here, your fan speed, little AT&T dial, just turns off, and that's how it's supposed to work. It automatically adjusts the fan speed and doesn't tell you how fast it's going. And we had some welding done today on this thing, which has been outside for too long and needs to be cleaned up. But he had the headers on. It failed smog, so we put factory headers on, but of course they cut the original header flanges, I'll call them, back to the cats off, and we didn't have those. So I had to buy some used ones, weld them in today. Took the guy like 4 hours, had an exhaust leak, had to go and weld up a cracked bung for the O2 sensor pre-cat bank 2. So now it's not running very well, which means it must have been tuned for those super sprint headers, which means we need to reflash the DME back to stock to make it run and be happy again, or run well and be happy again. We get codes for Vanos, Vanos retard valve, bank 1, Vanos function, bank 1. Didn't have those codes before the headers were changed, so I'm pretty confident it's just a tuning issue at this point. Monaco M5, I had that whirring noise, right? So there were like 3 separate whirring noises on this car, and every time we replaced something it got better, but it was still obvious that it wasn't right. So we started with the front wheel bearings, that quieted up the front axle. Then we replaced the transmission with a brand new GS653BZ from Germany. That silenced the transmission tunnel area. Then we get the whirring above 40 miles an hour, most notably at 50 and 80 miles an hour from what sounded like the rear left corner. Put it on the lift yesterday, ran the wheels up to 50 miles an hour, took a stethoscope to the wheel carrier. Sounds fine, not loud at all, but the diff is whining like crazy. It's really loud, just like a screeching, squealing sound under the car. So, talked with the customer. Customer approved a new differential. It's on the way from Dallas. Another couple $1,000 to change that out. But otherwise, this thing's done pending a really nice cleanup before it's delivered. So we'll drop the exhaust again, drop the drive shaft. It'll be the 5th time we've had the exhaust and drive shaft off this car during its time here. Get the diff in there, new axle, 2 diff output flange bolts, and get this thing sent. I guess the guy's in Phoenix right now, so he's just gonna come pick it up and drive it back. Tonight I'm driving the Tyag O2 M5. We had it aligned today. He came in for fluids because he just bought it and he wants to make it reliable enough to daily drive. And then he said, yeah, let's do an MPI too. And then he approved like 3/4 of the stuff on the MPI. So it's been a longer project than anticipated, but actually I can tell you the only thing we have yet to do is a rear seat rail screw, which is NLA. So from McMaster Car, I picked up a M4 by 0.7, 10 millimeter long screw that should hold the rail down to the seat body. Yesterday, Alan did the seat twist repairs on that, finished up the interior kind of cosmetic work. So we'll drive it tonight, assuming everything's good. It's out of here. Speaking of out of here, that's me. Talk hump day. Night.